Hey everyone, it's Pastor Dave from St. John in Woodbury, Minnesota. Thanks for checking out today's 5 minutes of hope. I pray that you're doing well. Yesterday was the inauguration and everything was smooth and peaceful, which I think was an answer to prayers. And life continues to go on. And today up here in the Bowl North, it is cold. We're supposed to get more snow this weekend. It's windy, it's blustery, but it is January. So wherever you are, however life is going for you at home or work, school, relationships, I do pray that things are going well. I pray that you're staying healthy and safe. But above all, as I say each time, my biggest prayer for you is that you are filled with peace, with joy, and with hope, because you know exactly what Jesus has done for you. So with today's video devotion, since the inauguration was yesterday, of a joke connected to the military, and then some devotional thoughts from 1 Timothy 2, and really the necessity, the command to be in prayer for those who are in leadership, especially right now. So first, our joke is about a guy who was training to be a paratrooper, to jump out of planes in the military to jump into battle. And so as part of the training, they would go to different heights and they would jump and learn and train that way. And they were at one height, and one of the folks in the military who was getting trained, he asked the trainer, how long, if my parachute doesn't open, how long would it take before I hit the ground? And the trainer looks down and kind of guesses how high they are, and then says, well, I think you get about halfway through the Lord's Prayer. There you go. So I don't know if you laughed at that one, but maybe you smiled, chuckled, groaned. But there you go. Maybe you liked it. Share with your friends. Brighten their day. So that's our joke of the day for today's 5 minutes of hope. But like I said, our devotional thoughts, since it is the week of the inauguration, which was a little tense. There was a lot of worry, concern on it, especially after everything that happened a couple weeks ago. But now, we're officially into a new presidency, new leadership in our country. We've got new leadership in many of our states, new leaders stepping up in different positions, and even at the local level. There's transitions of power all over the place. And so as we've been going through all this, again, it's been a whirlwind. Everything in 2020, with protests and riots, obviously the pandemic overarching everything, but obviously the kind of the tense, divisive campaign, election, even after the election. It's a good time for us to remember what we are called to do and how we are called to behave as Christians, and how we are supposed to live perhaps distinctly from others. That, as we look, especially right now, at everything that's happening in the election, not even just the presidential one, but even get at the state level, other federal offices, local level. The reality is, for all of us, we have some candidates that we voted for that didn't win and others that did win. But again, how are we supposed to react? How are we supposed to treat those that are in authority over us, whether we like them or not? And again, Paul is very clear about this. I want to read for us. This is from 1 Timothy chapter 2. Again, one of the more well-known passages in regards to how the church is called to relate to those that are placed in authority. And Paul says in 1 Timothy 2, he says, first of all then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. This is good, and it is pleasing in the sight of God our Savior, who desires all people to be saved and come to a knowledge of the truth. And so, right now, again, whether you're a huge fan of the new president, or maybe you're not a huge fan of the president, we're called to pray for him and pray for the vice president, pray for her and her family, pray for our new leaders at every level. In 2 years, we'll have more elections, and whoever's elected in, we're supposed to pray for them, pray for their well-being, pray that they would lead godly lives in their individual lives, but also lead as godly people. In 4 years, we'll have another election. Maybe we'll have the same president, maybe we'll get a new one, who knows? But our response will be the same, to pray for those in positions of authority. For that purpose, as Paul says, that we may lead a quiet and peaceful and dignified life, so that we can continue to spread the gospel, because God desires above all things that all people be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth, that Jesus Christ is Lord, and that through him there is life, there is forgiveness of sins. And so, again, I would encourage you, again, however you're handling the leadership we have at every level, that you would look at them and say, you know what, I'm going to pray for you, because that is God's desire for me to do. That is what Paul encourages me to do. So I'm going to pray for you. And in so doing, I want to pray that the gospel will go forth, that all people know the truth, and the truth will set them free. Again, the truth of Jesus Christ. So again, God bless you. May he walk with you, and may he constantly equip you to be a person of prayer, especially for those who are in leadership.